time, and the casting, it was a lot that went in the headphones in Leon. How did he not hear a fucking gas tank? Most people don't really understand survival horror. It's not about killing the most zombies you can find. It's about managing your resources, how to get from point A to B with what you got. Something writer, actor, and director
Zach Cregger. What do you got there? This is a gallon of PCP.
And how exactly does survival horror and this guy correlate? Well, if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that Cregger's is set to direct the next Resident Evil live action movie. And I'm all for there being more directors out there pumping out good horror movies, because Lord knows we are in a drought, especially zombie movies.
You're my best friend.
This is my first time drinking this flavor. And a few years ago, we had Overlord, Train to Busan, Zombieland, Fear and Edgelord. If you're a real edgelord, you probably know about the sadness. There's more out there, I'm sure I'm forgetting, but you know, just to name a few. But as for new zombie movies, you've probably seen some clips of the newest game on your feed. Different with I mean, almost everybody's seen the early 2000s movies and its 75 following sequels. Or maybe you were like one of 3 people who saw 2021's Welcome to Raccoon City. Or maybe you liked the Netflix adaptation.
Beautiful 180, crazy.
Good for you. Maybe you're an OG and you played the 1996 game, which is celebrating its 30-year anniversary this year. I also turned 30 this year. But look, chances are you know a little something about Resident Evil. So this isn't meant to be like the deepest of deep dives on Zach's story, though he does have a few interviews out there if you do want to, you know, really brush up on more of his info. Alright, so now that introductions are out the way, we're going to take a look at how somebody can go from being a part of projects like this.
What? Hey! What?
Becoming one of the biggest names in horror right now and going on to direct the new Resident Evil movie. Let's get into it. Initially from Arlington, Virginia, Cregger would join local improv groups. To gain more experience, he would also work as an extra in the background of like movies and TV shows. Staying in the film industry, he later moved to Brooklyn, New York around 2000, where he would attend the School of Visual Arts over in Manhattan. Also shout out to the hometown, Brooklyn and house. It was after or during this time at SVA that he would meet his longtime collaborators, Trevor Moore, Timmy Williams, Sam Brown, Darren Turnermeter. I probably said that wrong. They would go on to form the cult classic comedy sketch group, The Whitest Kids You Know, airing from 2007 to 2011. Also, they've uploaded most of those sketches on their YouTube, so if you're in the mood for some good laughs, definitely go check that out. But afterwards, Cregger and Moore would go on to make 2009's Miss March and eventually 2011's The Civil War on Drugs. Cregger carved out a name for himself in media through laughter, later making the legendary transition into his notable darker works. Following his breakout hit with Barbarian, Cregger would dive into heavier works with his follow-up hit, Weapons. Back to back, just going crazy. But see, during the film's plot, a third grader is the only one left after his entire classroom vanishes overnight. Well, him and his homeroom teacher. But this forces the third grader to have to take care of his family, something Cregger had pulled from his own memories. Having substance abuse take a hold of his home as a kid, at times forcing him into a young caretaker role. It ends with the twist reveal of a real-life creepy-ass witch that's been blending in. If you know, you know. Sorry for the spoiler. You should really go check that movie out. This evil witch Gladys, who's getting her own spin-off movie, came into the student's home, placing his mother and father both in a deadly trance type like hex thing. Metaphorically speaking, the witch could represent how alcohol or drugs or any substance really can enter somebody's life and place them under a spell. Something Cregger said to have gone through it himself, acting as a caregiver at times in his own. You see, this didn't stop the young Zach. He would still move to New York and still make a name for himself. But no matter how successful you are, life and death happens to all of us. See, not too long after filming an episode of Newsboys back in 2021, unfortunately, the late but great Trevor Moore would pass away. As a fan, it was devastating. I mean, it can't compare to what his close friends and family must have felt. But of course, before I move on, I definitely gotta say, rest in peace to a comedic genius and local sex pot, Trevor Moore. See, when you got energy just swirling around in your mind from something, whether it be positive or negative, it can act as a motivator. And we all know what it's like to be motivated by circumstance. And a circumstance like losing one of your closest friends, your best friend for that, it's naturally going to push anybody to just, you know, feel a lot of heavy emotions. And Weapons wasn't a direct meditation on grief, as Cregger has said throughout interviews, but it was something for him to work on throughout the process of feeling these heavy emotions. Between a traumatic childhood and something like losing your best friend, it was understandable why Weapons had such an emotional root to the story. Now, Zach said the film isn't directly a meditation on grief, but it's clear why the movie hit so deep with its emotional roots. And of course, Zach pushed through, delivering an absolute banger. And now, Zach is set to direct some major upcoming titles. the main one we're here to talk about being Resident Evil. See, it's rumored that Cregger's had a crazy script plan for this movie, but he didn't have the rights to Resident Evil just yet when he was writing it. But it was a clear nod to the game. See, I'm assuming Zach really just wanted to make this movie one way or another, whether it got picked up or not. So that could explain why we don't have any in-game characters directly, as the movie was written before they had the rights to it. So hopefully if this one does good, I'm being pure speculative here. Maybe if we get a sequel greenlit, maybe they might dip into some game characters, knowing that the rights are there. Hopefully. So according to Wikipedia, Shay Hatton also co-wrote the script with Zach, and Hatton's known for writing things like John Wick 3, Army of the Dead, and 2025's Ballerina. Cregger said he's a big gamer himself, having finished Requiem 3 times and playing the other Resident Evil games, so I'm pretty sure we're in good hands here, and he's probably going to throw more nods into the movie by the time it hits theaters on September 18th, 2026. Well, yes, I would love a more live-action, accurate Resident Evil movie. From what I'm hearing, it's still going to be a crazy ride nonetheless. The trailer's already been shown at CinemaCon, and a private screening was held, resulting in some pretty positive reviews, comparing it to like Mad Max Fury Road and Evil Dead 2. The movie was filmed in Prague, but will be taking place in the 1998 snowy Raccoon City. The movie's going to be starring Austin Abrams, which you might have seen before in Weapons, or in another zombie title, The Walking Dead. He's going to be playing a laid-back organ donor, getting chased around into what seems to be in like an abandoned house. One image of what might be the scene has been released online as the first official look. A private screening was held of the whole film, where people who got lucky enough to check it out compared it to like Mad Max Fury Road. Also, Cregger said this movie's not really gonna have a complex narrative like his previous films, but it's more of a straightforward, just fast-paced horror. Considering the first official trailer aired at CinemaCon a few days ago, we'll probably be getting that soon ourselves. Besides Austin Abrams, the movie's also gonna be starring Paul Walter Hauser, Callie Reese, Zach Cherry, and John O. Wilson, which if you look at his hair kind of looks a little like Wesker, but it's unlikely that he'll be playing Wesker, as this movie will not be featuring any characters from the game. Yeah, you might have probably heard talks already about that. But this reboot coming out is said to have an intro sequence with an organ donor driving into a snowy Raccoon City that hits a zombified woman on the road, similar to like how RE2 had the trucker eating the burger, you know, that whole sequence.
Okay, well, it was last Friday night.
Or you don't, I don't know, play some damn games. Though 2021's Welcome to Raccoon City probably gonna be the most faithful adaptation we'll ever get for a while. We were so close. Now, I don't want to get too much into 2021's Welcome to Raccoon City. I feel like most casual fans don't even know the movie exists. You know, most people think of the Alice movies from the early 2000s, the Paul Wes Anderson one. Went super under the radar, didn't do that good in the box office, and really crammed a lot into that such small runtime. And it just, the casting, it was a lot that went in the headphones of Leon. How did he not hear a fucking gas tank exploding in front of him? Whether the movie's got game characters or not, me and wifey are probably gonna go check it out. But speaking of game characters, we should get into some updates about that too. So if you're a fan of the most recent game, Resident Evil 9 Requiem, you'll be hyped to know we're getting a story continuation's been pretty much confirmed at this point, as well as a mini game coming out sometime in May, so it should be pretty soon. We'll also be getting a photo mode and a patch update coming soon to fix any bugs and improve playability. Now I'm thinking this DLC is going to be significant, because usually Capcom's not charging $30 for their DLCs, and it's been confirmed that it's going to be a story continuation. Now with the ring on Leon's finger at the end of the game, as we saw, we're probably gonna get some, you know, answers as to if it's Ada or Ashley, whatever. Like, you know, you've probably seen the theories and the debates online about who's marrying who. The reason why I even say Ada in the first place is because data miners have revealed that there was some scrapped Ada Wong content from Resident Evil 9 and she was supposed to be in it. So chances are it's looking like she might be in the DLC, similar like to what we've had in previous games before with DLC. Now it's supposed to be around May, we'll be getting an update, fixing some bugs, adding a photo mode, and hopefully getting a mercenaries type minigame. Now data miners have now revealed that there is some mercenaries type music that was not used in Resident Evil Requiem. It could be for the background of a Leon level, but chances are that was put in there knowing that there'd be a mercenaries added later on. So I don't know, we'll see. But chances are we're getting ourselves a new mercenary mode like we've seen in the other titles too, and a continuation, hopefully answering some questions, adding characters like a village, having Redfield come at the end. Now, I don't think Chris is going to be in the DLC in this game. Granted, he was mentioned 2 times at the end of 9, with him leading the wolves and Captain Redfield mentioned. I'm thinking more so it's going to be a later title that might have Chris. There's been a rumor of a Code Veronica remake, strong rumors of that, which Chris Redfield's a part of, which we'll probably be getting before seeing any type of mainline continuation like a Resident Evil 10. So we're probably going to be seeing DLC for Resident Evil 9, Code Veronica remake. I've heard talks of Resident Evil 0 or 5. I'm leaning more towards 0 from what I've heard, but yeah, and then probably we'll be getting back into like the mainline games come like 2029, and hopefully the DLC answers questions like what's the deal with Xeno? Is he really a clone of Wesker, a diet Wesker, sodium free Wesker? That should be it for game updates as well as movie updates. But I just also wanted to say thank you so much for staying tuned with me and watching to the end. I appreciate it a ton, highlighting these stories that I feel like could inspire the next creative to make the next thing that I'm on this channel talking about, you know, whether it be hardships or hard work, man, we getting it done either way. And I'm a big fan of inspiring stories, and Cregger's was definitely an inspiring one for me. I'm a fan of the work, and I'm excited to see what comes out next. Thank you so much for anybody who made it this far in the video. Truly, this is a blast for me to make these, man. Thank you so much. And I do have another video planned very soon on. Oh, it's gonna be a fun one. Stay tuned.